Alright, then we're back again. Got another deck profile today for the Digi-Battle card game that seems to be pretty popular right now. People are digging the content. We just had a deck building school video, so this should just be another example of how I utilize that school of thought. Let's just get right into it. This deck's built around Gazimon. He's awesome Digimon world fame here, but we'll just go right into him. He's yellow type, really strong against yellow, not particularly strong against red, which is a little rough, being as there's some really good red starters, like Biyomon, for example, but he's still quite strong on his own and gets past quite a few of the problem starters. Gazimon is a good option too. He's actually a little stronger against yellows. He's awesome because he's got a couple of different types, so you could build your deck into some of the more specialized unit cards or the option cards to give him a little bit more versatility. But really, Gazimon is going to be where you start. Gazimon's always an option though if you need to. This is a Tyrannomon family deck, so it does end up going eventually into War Greymon, as that's the final evolution for the Tyrannomon line within this game. And therefore we do have to run Agumon because we have to run the Greymon line as well. Agumon's nice because he is red, so you're not always just stuck playing yellow rookies. If you do get into a situation where you need a different color, you do have a red alternative. Getting into the champions then, we do run Digi-Battle. He is actually from the Swedish set. A little tough to get here in the States, but a fantastic card. Evolves off of Gazimon and Gazimon. 270, 340, 390. Just strong stats. Great card, and he just looks awesome. Really, a huge. Not having this card hurts the deck a lot. Gazimon and Gazimon have a lot of single evolution tree Digimon, and having a unit that Digimon that's a little bit more versatile helps this deck a lot. We have Dark Tyrannomon, starting with what I was just talking about. Just goes off of Gazimon. You're not going to play Dark Tyrannomon super. You'll play him most often, I apologize. He'll be one of your primary champions, since Gazimon is where you'll want to start your deck. Gazimon, though, is an option as well. Therefore, we've got Tuskmon here, which has Gazimon and Gazimon again. A great, just narrows it down, gives you great options if you have Gazimon. It means you're not just stuck on the Gazimon only cards. There are a couple of Gazimon line only Digimon, which are not super useful to us just because we don't want that to be our starting Digimon, so we don't run those here. But this one, he's starting to get really strong against green, which is great. We've been primarily strong against yellow up to this point in the game, so having a Tuskmon to sort of change that up a little bit helps a lot. Dark Tyrannomon's like that too. Raramon, however you want to pronounce his name, is another one that digivolves off of both, which is great. Fairly weak stats overall, although 390 isn't awful. He does have the special effect, though, that you send one card from your opponent's online to offline if he wins, so he just helps mill through your opponent's deck faster. Again, not your primary option. You really are going to want to try to push for the Dark Tyrannomon as often as possible, but he is there if you need him. And then we do have Greymon, just digivolves off of Agumon. Not great, but Greymon just doesn't have a good card. This is really our only option, and we need it in case we're stuck having to go to the Metal Greymon line to try to get into our War Greymon. We've got a Metal Tyrannomon who digivolves off of Dark Tyrannomon, Tyrannomon or Digi-Battle. Now, we don't run just the regular Tyrannomon, but he is able to digivolve off of your Dark Tyrannomon and Digi-Battle. So you've got two options for him. Again, foreign cards are helping this deck a lot. Another Swedish exclusive, and they're really just expanding what this deck was able to do. Finally, we go into Master Tyrannomon. This is a French exclusive, but he digivolves off of Dark Tyrannomon or Tyrannomon. Just takes a red Digivice. Metal Tyrannomon just takes a yellow. You'll find that there is no DNA digivolving in this deck, which is helpful because you're not limited to needing to waste your ultimates and things like that to get to different levels. Master Tyrannomon's got great stats for 460, 480, really strong there. He is red, weak against himself, but generally he's actually a fairly strong Digimon. Not a bad spot to end up by any means. Now, Metal Greymon is here because we do run War Greymon, and therefore we run Greymon as well. Vidramon's not here, but we can at least use this if we're really stuck. War Greymon Digivolves off of Metal Greymon or Metal Tyrannomon. So you do have both options in the deck to do so, but it's really you're pushing for the Tyrannomon line as much as possible. And just like primarily all of the Megas, he does have this effect that you gain 300 points when you Digivolve to this level. So he is just your standard Mega, really. But he's got great stats. He's fun to run. Taco Bell promo. This deck is not the easiest or most cost-effective deck to put together, since you need multiple foreign cards as well as a Taco Bell promo that's fairly pricey, but it is a blast. I love this Digimon line. I love Gazimon. I love the Tyrannomon line, and a deck that efficiently runs War Greymon is always cool too. Getting into the extra cards, this deck is going to run a very similar package to what I've talked about before. We've got our 3 Digivices, red, red, green, and red, yellow. We don't have any green Digimon, but we do have 3 that require red Digivices, 1 that requires a yellow. So we do have the option for the yellow there, but red we just want to see as often as possible. We run an Ultra Digivolve because you don't not run that card. Digivolve from any champion, or Digivolve any Digimon to the next level, and as long as it can go into that level, you don't have to do whatever its requirements are, though you do have to discard your hand, so it does push through milling the deck a lot faster. But if this is the difference between you Digivolving into War Greymon and not to score the 300 points, it's absolutely worth it. That can end the game right there. Crest Tag. Again, you can go from champion to ultimate regardless of requirements. Also, just if we don't have the yellow Digivice, this lets us deal with that. And then the 4 crest tags: Courage, Friendship, Reliability, and Sincerity. All great choices, all flat 50 points onto your Digimon, which is always good. But then if you do have the crest tag on the board, it gives them an additional buff as well. You've got red, green, and yellow offensive, because you're never going to not run these. Having the ability to change color on the fly is incredible. Is in every deck. Don't not run this. Option Eater. Void an opponent's Power Blast or Force Effect. Probably the strongest option Power Blast card that exists. Have to run this. Power Freeze. Void an opponent's Digivolve or Force Effects. Second strongest card. Only reason this is stronger is because you can void this one. But this voids pretty much everything else that would hurt you. Black Gears, just flat 100-point buff to your Digimon. Always a huge, huge boon. And you'll definitely want to have it. Pluck, I like this one just because you do run a Mega that gives you 300 points. If you face an opponent that has the special ability Fly, you just score a flat 200 points. If you are on, the turn you Digivolve into your Mega level, you can score 500 points that turn just by Digivolving and what your opponent plays. You don't even have to win, and that's half a game on a single Digivolution and power option card. So I like to run this with this deck. It's a gamble. You could take it out, but it's such a huge swing if it happens. Downgrade your champion or your opponent's champion to rookie. Always a good card. Always good to get your little bit of control over your opponent's Digivolution line, or if you get stuck on a card that's just going to lose you the duel, sometimes going down a level yourself is good too. And lastly, we got Even Steven. Stop the duel. All Digimon remain on the duel zone, and all power option cards go offline. No one scores any points. Very, very powerful card. I like to play this as my second power option card if I'm in a duel where I just straight up know I'm not going to win. That way, I'll play one face down, opponent plays one, I play another one, they play another one. It's even better if you're going second, because then your opponent reveals one, you reveal, they reveal, you reveal, and you just burned both cards for both of you. And you can just bluff with whatever your first card is, or really even If you can just get a pluck down as your first card, and then even Steven, score 200 points, and then just end the duel, move on. Huge buff. But that is the Gazimon deck. It is a blast. Gazimon is an awesome Digimon. The Digivolution line is cool. Tyrannomon is always neat. He's like Greymon, but cooler. And, I don't know, man. I like this deck a lot. It's a blast to get to set down foreign cards. You know, just showing off stuff that people don't normally see is always cool too. There's just a neat flex about that. But tell me what you think in the comments. If you've got these cards and have the ability to put the deck together, give it a shot. If anyone ever wants to play, I'm always interested in playing over Skype, video match, tabletop simulator. You know, we can always get some games and test out decks. I can teach you how to play the correct way, as opposed to the terrible little rule sheet. But we've got another deck profile for Digimon in mind. I'm going to show off the Miracle 4 deck. Another cool card that's just kind of a flex finisher if you get it to happen. Not the greatest deck, just because you have to cram so much into it, but it's a fun one. And then one thing I kind of thought about doing, we did a deck building school, the Get Good video, about how to build a better deck. One thing I thought about doing is actually building a deck for this game. I just got the card for Metal Seedramon, whom I had not had before, and I'd like to build a deck, finishing at Metal Seedramon for my Mega, and I think it'd be fun to just start from him and just kind of go backwards and build a deck and see what we can come up with. Throw one of those together. I don't own a Gomamon though, so probably will need him. Oh well, it'll be worth seeing what happens. Worst case scenario, I just don't upload the video. But either way, guys, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for checking out the videos, liking, subscribing, all that kind of things. We'll be back with some more deck profiles in the future, and see you next time.